I'd like to welcome you all to the Healey School to celebrate the graduating 8th grade class of 2018. So without further ado, we will introduce the 2018 8th grade graduates from the Healey School. So to start off our school ceremony, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. So the 8th graders will stand and lead us in that. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States, which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you're just coming in, over in the far back corner, there are still some chairs on a rack that you could set up in the space in the back corner. If you're looking for a place to sit, it looks pretty full in the rest of the cafeteria, but over in the back corner, just feel free to take some chairs off that rack and set them up. So I'd like to start by introducing Mr. Richard Malillo, who is a longtime Somerville School Administrator. He's here to represent the superintendent, and he had the pleasure of being an assistant principal here when these students were much younger.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Congratulations to the graduates. Tonight's a big night for you guys, and I want to make sure that you understand the amazing opportunity that's in front of you. You've had a journey here at the Healey. I was the assistant principal here for 2 years, but more importantly to me, I was the attendance officer for the Healey School for 20 years. I got to know a lot of the families in the area, and it was honestly one of the best times of my life, spending time at the Healey. It honestly is my favorite school in the district. It's where I got my roots. I even had the pleasure. You all know Mr. C. I call him Stevie Celeste. And I coached him in high school, and he was one of the best leaders I ever had at Somerville High. So on behalf of the superintendent, I want to congratulate you all. I really want to make you aware of the tremendous opportunities you have at Somerville High School. We just had our class day, and we had students going everywhere in the country. We had 6 students accepted at Tufts University. We had 2 students accepted at Boston University. Students accepted at Northeastern. It was amazing. Holy Cross. So the idea, when you go to Somerville High, everything's in front of you. You can be whatever you want to be. And we've had a lot of successful people from the Healey School. So parents, congratulations, you've done a great job. And students, the future's ahead of you. Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Malillo. I'd now like to invite up Mr. Amatrano, the assistant principal here at the school, who had the pleasure of teaching these students in 5th and 6th grade.
Good evening, families and parents, staff, and most importantly, our students. As we started planning for this ceremony a couple weeks ago, I specifically went up to Mr. Dooley and Ms. Dowling and asked if I could address the students, because normally it's the principal that makes the address, but I specifically asked because I feel a real connection with these students, because they were my first real full loop with the whole grade in both 5th and 6th grade when I was a teacher here with them a couple years ago. So I felt a real connection with them, and they are a special group of students. This group of students has accomplished a tremendous amount academically and just throughout their entire career here at the Healey. Academically, when we had them in 5th grade, they had the highest scores for math in the entire state, 3rd highest in ELA in the entire state, not just the district, the state. That just goes to show you the type of talent and the hard work that this group of students has. I've heard Mr. Mitchell say several times throughout the year that how this group can hold the deepest and the best conversations and have the highest level of thinking of any ELA group he's ever had in his teaching career here at the Healey as well. This group is not just strong academically, but they also got a lot of personality. I can remember them driving me a little crazy, maybe Edgar practicing his nay-nay and his whip. Maybe some tears over a colored pencil that someone didn't get. But then they're also mature. I had a conversation last week with Diha and Jasmine about their STEAM project and how their project is about gender equality. It's a very high level, very mature students here. So I thought a lot about what my message was going to be to these students, and as Mrs. Hisbitz would like, I made an outline. I wrote an outline, I revised it, I went back to it, and then it dawned on me. This past year, I had a new job. My wife we had a baby. I have a toddler at home too, so 2 kids under 2. Stress of a new job, it was a tough year. It was a great year, but it was tough. And at one point this year, I got a text message from my college lacrosse coach with a poem in it. And the poem is called Don't Quit. And it hit me right at the right time this year. And I'm gonna read this poem to you, and there is no author. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns. And many a fellow turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. May you succeed with another blow. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint in the clouds of doubt. And you never can tell how close you are. It might be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It's when things seem the worst that you must not quit. Now I read this poem to you because that last line is what I want you to think about. When things seem the worst, you must not quit. And the next year, the next few years in high school, there's gonna be difficulties on the athletics field, in the classroom, in your clubs, your social life, and your personal lives. You're gonna have challenges. So what I am challenging you is to just never give up. Always push forward, always give that extra effort, and you're gonna find out that you'll be successful if you just don't quit. The Healey's been your home for the past, many of you, 9 years. A lot of you, many years. So remember the lessons that your teachers have taught you. Remember the lessons that you each other have taught each other. So learn from them, take those into high school, and do your very best. That's what I challenge you is also do your very best. So congratulations to the 2018 Healey 8th graders as you move up to the high school. Well done.
Before the presentation of the diplomas a bit later in the evening, we'd like to recognize students who stood out in various ways throughout the year, academically, athletically, artistically. We're going to start by inviting Miss Lou up to present some acknowledgments for music. For students, it again when you come up and received your recognition. Just stay on the front of the stage till the entire group has come up onto the stage, and then we'll recognize you all together, and you can return to your seats.
Wow, it's been 9 years for most of you. I think I see you are very little, and then until this moment, I really actually congratulations with all of you and the graduate. We were going to all miss you. And now for the past 2 years, I only have 2 groups. One is for war percussion and one is for the chorus group. If you are in the string and you're in the band, all of you did a fabulous job. I'm really proud of all of you. So today I was just giving award to the war percussion and also the chorus group. So I will only read your first name, so you'll please come here. Okay. Diha. Group, and we did a fabulous job, just like our band group and the string group. Amin, Alexa, Stefania, Jasmine, Jennifer, for people studying with Mr. Frantino, Mr. Gabriszewski, and Ms. Sears. And also for string, you study with Mr. Blankenhofer and also Ms. Seller. Congratulations, you really did a fabulous job.
Ms. Witten and Ms. Cleva would like to come up to present some Spanish certificate.
That I've had the wonderful gift of teaching for 3 years in the Somerville district. And I remember going home after I taught for the first weekend telling my family that I had never who were so eager to learn that I would teach them something new, and then they would ask me more questions. So this group I've been able to see grow from young sixth graders like Mr. Matrano to now students who are much taller than me. But I've also gotten to see a new group of students who joined us last year in Spanish. The Healey was one of the first schools to have the entire grade take Spanish, and it was such, yeah. And it was such a wonderful experience watching students who were jumping into a language in the second year, not knowing what they were getting into, and stepping up to the challenge to do a wonderful job. Tonight, Ms. Kaliva and I are going to recognize a few students each who have just shown a wonderful attitude in class, positivity. They had the grit and determination to work when things were challenging. And then some who were just constantly volunteering in class, doing above and beyond on projects and presentations. I'm going to say all of the names at once, and then you can come up and I'll hand you your certificate. Adaya Velasquez. Boris Mira. Leslie Montiel Dumont. Joseph Amari. Jasmine Carr. And Karina Maria Modesto.
Y para mi clase de español, los premios van a Evans Racket, Healey Sadaya Perez, Megan O'Leary, Amin Aki, Ezra Brody, and Tiana Mari.
Let's give these students one more round of applause, please.
Mrs. Della Camera asked me to recognize some students for outstanding achievement in art during the past year. So again, I'll call your names up and give you your certificate, and you can stand in front of the stage for any photos. So this is again for outstanding achievement in art. Destiny. Leslie. Miles. Katie. Deha. Kelly, Jocelyn, Lexi, Andrew, congratulations for outstanding achievement in art. Applause for the outstanding art achievement. And the next set of recognitions is for excellence in library. So these are presented for Miss Rocha. So if the following students could come up to the stage for this recognition. Megan, Boris, Joseph, Ezra, Mitchell and Coach Salam to present certificates for soccer.
So I have 4 awards here for 8th grade girls, 2 of whom were on the team for 2 years. One of which, when her sister was on the team many years ago, was the manager for gosh, probably like 5 years or so. All right, so we had a very long season. It lasted almost 5 months. It was absurdly long. Our girls showed a lot of commitment, many of them with games at 8 a.m. on a Saturday, showing up 7:30 in the freezing cold, waiting outside of East Somerville gym. And I'm very proud of these girls, and I hope that they play soccer in high school. They are Stefania, and Dahlia, and then our co-captains, Anna and Katie.
So unlike Mr. Mitchell, I did not only have 4, I had almost 17 boys. So this may take a while. It was a pleasure to have all these young men play for me this year. It was both a pleasure and a heartache. There's a lot of yelling involved for some of us, a lot of practices, and a lot of improvement from the beginning where we lost our first game by multiple goals to trying to beat the best team in Somerville and almost coming close to that. I was really, really proud of the young men they became. So I'm going to go up one by one and hand up numbers. So ready? Joseph. Terrence. Ami. Nicholas. Web. Zach. William. One of our co-captains, Andrew. Our other co-captain, Theo. Edgar. Nelson. Kadar. Sophie. Jake. Max. Jameer. Evan. ...2008 soccer team. Next is going to be for flag football. A web. Edgar. And my first first female player in flag football, Adalia. Last but not least, I usually don't give out awards for this, but these three young ladies dominated the track for the last 2 years, so I'm gonna have to give them an award. They all got at least 4 medals per in the Dilboy track team that we always do every year. So, Dahlia. Gian. And Katie.
Our basketball coaches were Mr. C and Miss McLaren, if they come up to the stage.
Okay, the girls' team this year had twice as many wins as last year. We did an outstanding season. And I'd like to announce our 8th graders. That is only part of our team, a very small part, but nevertheless the heart of our team, starting with Destiny. Stefania. And one of our captains has played since 6th grade, all 3 years, Katie. And our other captain has played also for all 3 years since 6th grade, Idalia.
Good evening. Good evening. How you guys doing? So this is my first year coaching. A very fun year. Very good year. We made it to the championship game. Lost to a very tough team, but it's nothing to hang your heads on. Okay. First up, we got Angus. Jake. Zach. Jameer. Sophion. Max. Theo. And our captain for this year, Edgar Lopez. Hold on, one last thing. I need the whole 8th grade class to please stand up and give a round of applause to your family and friends. We support you guys.
So our basketball and football and soccer teams all had a lot of success, but there's no team at the Healey School quite like the Healey math team. Mr. Jacques comes up to the stage and I'm sure he'll brag a little bit.
I don't mean to brag. However, for the past 10 plus years, the Healey School has won every meet every year. So this year is no different. We are going to 2 meets and won both of them. So let me welcome Captain Ezra. Megan. Andrew Da Costa. Angus. And Terrence.
Several years back at the Healey School, we spent some time really thinking about what was important in the school and what we wanted to value at the school. And we selected 4 core values. They're excellence, joy, creativity, and openness. And those are things that we try to make part of all of our thinking, all of our planning, and what we do each day. So we do have special awards for students who really exemplify those 4 core values. So Mr. Stefano will come up the stage to present those awards.
Okay. The person who represents joy the most and that we can hear every day in every single classroom all the time throughout the building is Dean. Come on up. The student who best represents to us openness and an acceptance of everybody for who they are is Kevin. Come on up. The student that best represents creativity, especially in his attire, is Boris. Come on up. For overall excellence and someone who has just been wonderful to have in all of our classes, Jasmine, come on up. We also like to give one more award, and that's the Citizenship Award, and that's the award for the person who's just overall awesome. And I think everybody would agree that Anna.
Each of the 8th grade teachers would also like to recognize some students who stood out in a special way in their particular subject area. So if Miss Madden will come up and present social studies.
Hello, everyone. So the first student I'd like to acknowledge is someone who's shown a tremendous amount of growth in social studies. The student has become more independent, resilient, and focused, and that student is Nick. Come on up, Nick. I'd now like to ton of curiosity, thoughtfulness, and just overall engagement in social studies. These are students who have made our conversations richer and more meaningful and just made class more awesome for everyone. Those students are Evan, Kelly, and Patrick. Come on up, guys.
Mr. Jocks, if you come back up to the podium to present some math awards, please.
As you already heard, it's a very talented group, so it's very difficult to pick one. So consequently, I picked my most improved student, someone who started in class and excelled by third and fourth quarter only A's. So, Miles. For outstanding achievement, Leslie. Gianna. And Amin. Now, I also have some students who did the 8th grade curriculum in 7th grade. So those students were not in my class this year. They went to Somerville High School for geometry. So Evan. Megan. Andrew. Zach. Angus. Terrence. And Captain Ezra.
Mr. Mitchell. Hello. So these are the ELA awards. There are 4 awards in 3 categories. As we stated earlier, this is a very high-level class. The 8th grade class. And the first 2 are for most improvement in ELA over the course of the year, and they go to Caitlin and Jennifer. The next one I call the Hard Worker Award. That's for somebody who has worked hard all year and has been an absolute pleasure to have in class. She's always someone to go to for making groups, and she's very collaborative. And that is Katie. Achievement. This young lady is so talented, so good at English that we named it after her, and that is Lexi English. 7th and 8th grade. So I'd first like to acknowledge someone who really showed just tremendous growth from when she came and started in 7th grade through the end of 8th grade, and really by the end of 8th grade was excelling at an outstanding level in science. Adalia. Three students in science for just outstanding achievement throughout this year and last year as well, of course. Andrew, Ezra, and Jocelyn. All right, a round of applause for the outstanding science students. The next set of awards that I'll give out is for various levels of honor rolls. So I look at their report card at the end of 4th quarter, and they get a grade 1st quarter, 2nd quarter, 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, and then they get a final grade for each class for the year. So this first group of students, for their final grade of the year in every class was A or a B or better in every class for their final grade. So I'll call your names up, and again, if you stand in the front, and then I'll give you your certificates. Deha, Angus, Zach, William, Nick, Jasmine, Caitlin, Chris, Jocelyn, Patrick, for everyone who got B or better in every class for their final grade. So next group, as you come up, Mr. Stefano will assist me. So I'll call your names and he'll give you your certificate. So the next group of students for their final grade for each class was an A. So every class, their final grade for the year was an A. Terrence, Amin, Ezra, Lexi, Karina, Leslie, Boris, Kelly, and Evan. Congratulations again for getting A's for your final grade for all your classes. I'm sure there's some students who are wondering, what about me? But they know they've worked hard and they know they've done well. So there were some students who not only got a final grade of an A for the end of the year, but for every single quarter in every single class, they had an A. So there was nothing on their entire report card for the whole entire year other than A's or A pluses even in some cases. Joseph, Gianna, Andrew, and Megan. Congratulations. Keep up the hard work at the high school. Now, as challenging it is to excel in all your classes to that level, I think the next recognition is even more challenging. It because we can see only 2 people have achieved it throughout the year. So the following 2 students were here every single day this year. And that's really where success starts. So I'd like to recognize Nick. And as impressive it is to be here every day, it's even more impressive to be here on time every single day all year. Jocelyn. All right, a big round of applause for these students who made a commitment to be here every single day. I know our attendance officer, Mr. Malillo, is especially proud of that group. And the last few awards that we'll give before we move on to the presentation of the diplomas is for 4 students who really just worked at an outstanding level throughout all their classes consistently. When we meet to talk about who we want to recognize, there's so many outstanding students. We're trying to recognize different people, but there are a couple names who kept coming up in each class. So we have an award here for both outstanding effort in all of the subjects and outstanding achievement in all of their subject areas. So the 2 students who we really want to recognize for outstanding effort throughout the year in all their classes are Karina and Diha. For outstanding achievement in all subject areas, Joseph and Megan. All right, a round of applause for these 4 exceptional young people. So now I'd like to invite up to the stage Ms. Dowling and Mr. Amatrano and any teacher who has worked with these students and would like to come up and congratulate them as they receive their diplomas and walk across the stage.
Crystal Acosta.
of the graduates stand and face your families so they can acknowledge you and give you a big round of applause. So we know it's really hot in here, but we'd love to have you stay for a little bit. There's some cake over on the side being served by some former students. And feel free to take some pictures and socialize for a little bit. Thank you all for coming. Congratulations, 8th graders.